In Valhalla, fallen warriors would feast, drink, and prepare for Ragnarok, the final battle of the gods. This belief instilled a fearless attitude towards death in battle. It was a glorious destiny. Prepare yourselves for a journey back in time to an era of legendary adventurers, fearsome warriors, and incredible voyages. We're about to dive deep into the world of the Vikings, a people often misunderstood, yet undeniably influential. They were more than just raiders. They were epic voyagers, skilled traders, and a force that reshaped the medieval world. The Vikings, also known as Norsemen, hailed from the rugged lands of Scandinavia. Their homelands were what we now call Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. From these northern shores, their influence would spread far and wide. These were a people of many talents and roles. They were diligent farmers, cultivating the land to sustain their communities. They were shrewd traders, exchanging goods across vast distances. They were intrepid explorers, pushing the boundaries of the known world. And yes, at times they were formidable raiders, striking fear into the hearts of those they encountered. Their story is one of remarkable adaptability and ambition. It's a tale that continues to captivate us centuries later. The Viking Age truly kicked off with a bang, a moment that sent ripples of fear across Europe. This pivotal event occurred around 793 AD with the infamous raid on the monastery of Lindisfarne in England. This wasn't just an isolated incident, it signaled the dawn of a new era. What made these Norsemen so formidable? A key factor was their unparalleled skill as sailors and shipbuilders. They mastered the art of navigating treacherous waters, a feat that allowed them to reach distant lands. Their most iconic invention was the longship, a marvel of engineering. These vessels were incredibly versatile, capable of sailing in both deep oceans and shallow rivers. This design allowed them to strike far inland, surprising their targets. The longship's shallow draft meant they could beach almost anywhere, enabling swift landings and retreats. This tactical advantage was crucial to their raiding success. It also facilitated their extensive exploration. Their voyages took them far beyond the shores of Europe. They explored vast new territories, reaching as far west as North America, centuries before Columbus. These were truly global adventurers. But their activities weren't limited to raiding and exploration. They were also keen traders, establishing extensive networks. They exchanged valuable goods like furs, amber, and even slaves for silver, spices, and other exotic items. Their trade routes stretched from the Baltic Sea to the Byzantine Empire. This commercial prowess highlights their complex economic system. They were not just warriors, but also shrewd merchants. Life for the Vikings wasn't solely about raiding and long voyages. For most, daily existence revolved around more mundane, yet essential activities. They were primarily farmers, tilling the soil and raising livestock. They were also skilled fishermen, relying on the bounties of the sea and rivers for sustenance. Craftsmanship was highly valued, with many Vikings excelling as artisans, creating beautiful and functional objects. Their homes were typically longhouses, communal dwellings shared by extended families. These structures were central to their social life, providing warmth and shelter in harsh climates. Life within these walls was often bustling and communal. Viking society was rich with a vibrant oral culture. They passed down epic stories, known as sagas, detailing the deeds of heroes and gods. Skalds, their poets, composed intricate verses and poems. These narratives were not just entertainment, they preserved their history, values, and mythology. They painted a vivid picture of their worldview. Their culture was deeply intertwined with their beliefs. Their pantheon of gods, like the mighty Odin and the powerful Thor, played a central role in their lives. These deities were invoked for protection, wisdom, and success in battle. Their myths were a source of inspiration. Celebrations were an important part of Viking life, marked by feasts and games. These gatherings fostered community bonds and provided respite from the rigors of daily existence. They were a time for merriment and storytelling. They enjoyed various forms of entertainment, from board games to athletic contests. These activities reflected their competitive spirit and love for physical prowess. Life was a balance of hard work and joyous celebration. The reach of Viking raids was astonishing, extending across much of Europe. They struck coastal towns and inland settlements in England, France, and even as far east as Russia. Their longships allowed them to penetrate deep into river systems. However, their interactions were far more complex than simple plunder. While raiding was certainly a part of their strategy, they also engaged extensively in trade. They established bustling markets and commercial hubs. Crucially, they were also settlers, establishing permanent communities in the lands they visited. These settlements grew into thriving towns and cities, leaving a lasting mark on the landscape. They integrated into new environments. Their presence profoundly influenced the cultures they encountered. They introduced new technologies, trade goods, and even linguistic elements. Their impact can still be seen in place names and local customs. In some regions, Vikings rose to positions of significant power. Some even became rulers, founding dynasties that lasted for centuries. They were not just invaders, but also nation builders. For example, they founded the city of Dublin in Ireland, which grew into a major trading center. In Russia, they established the Russ's principalities, laying the groundwork for the future Russian state. Their legacy is undeniable. In England, the Danelaw, a region under Viking control, had a distinct legal and social system. This period of Anglo-Saxon and Norse interaction shaped the very fabric of English society. Their influence was transformative. Their voyages of exploration were equally impactful. They discovered and settled Iceland and Greenland, pushing the boundaries of human habitation. These were truly remarkable feats of navigation and endurance. Their journey to North America, to a place they called Vinland, stands as a testament to their exploratory spirit. Though their settlement there was short-lived, it represents an incredible chapter in global exploration. The Vikings held a rich and complex polytheistic belief system. They worshipped a pantheon of many gods and goddesses, each with their own domain and characteristics. Their mythology was deeply interwoven with their daily lives. Among the most prominent deities was Odin, the All-Father, a wise and enigmatic leader. He was associated with war, poetry, magic, and death. Warriors often sought his favor before battle. Then there was Thor, the mighty god of thunder, strength, and protection. Wielding his hammer Mjolnir, he was a popular figure, invoked for good harvests and safe journeys. He was a protector of humanity. Freya, the goddess of love, beauty, fertility, and war, was another significant deity. She was also associated with magic and prophecy. Her influence touched many aspects of Viking life. Other important figures included Loki, the trickster god, and Frigg, Odin's wife and goddess of motherhood. Each deity played a vital role in the cosmic order and human affairs. Their stories were epic. A central tenet of their belief system was the concept of the afterlife. For warriors who died bravely in battle, the ultimate reward was Valhalla. This was a magnificent hall ruled by Odin himself. In Valhalla, fallen warriors would feast, drink, and prepare for Ragnarok, the final battle of the gods. This belief instilled a fearless attitude towards death in battle. It was a glorious destiny. Their cosmology also included other realms, such as Asgard, the home of the gods, and Midgard, the world of humans. Yggdrasil, the world tree, connected all these realms. Their universe was vast and interconnected. Sacrifices and rituals were performed to honor the gods and seek their blessings. These practices were integral to their religious life. Their faith provided meaning and guidance. The glorious Viking Age, a period of unparalleled expansion and influence, gradually drew to a close. This transformation occurred roughly around the 11th century, marking a significant shift in European history. Several contributing factors led to this decline in traditional Viking activities. One of the most significant was the widespread adoption of Christianity across Scandinavia and the lands they had settled. This new faith brought with it different values and social structures. The rise of strong, centralized kingdoms throughout Europe also played a crucial role. These organized states were better equipped to defend against raids and assert their own authority. The fragmented nature of earlier societies was changing. As these kingdoms grew in power, they absorbed and integrated the Viking settlements. The Norse communities became part of larger political entities, losing some of their distinct identity. They were no longer outsiders. The Vikings themselves began to integrate more fully into European society. They transitioned from raiders and explorers to settled farmers, merchants, and even nobility within the new Christian kingdoms. Their way of life evolved. Their descendants became integral parts of the world they once raided. They contributed to the development of new nations and cultures. The lines between Viking and European blurred over time. The Battle of Stamford Bridge in 1066 is often cited as a symbolic end to the Viking Age. Though Viking activity continued in some forms, the era of large-scale, organized raiding and expansion was largely over. The shift was gradual, not sudden. It was a complex process of cultural exchange, political consolidation, and religious conversion. The Vikings adapted to a changing world. Their legacy, however, continued to shape the future. The impact of their voyages, settlements, and cultural contributions endured. They left an indelible mark on the map and on history. So, as we look back, it's clear the Vikings were far more than just the fierce raiders of popular legend. They were extraordinary explorers, pushing the boundaries of human endeavor across oceans. They were shrewd traders, establishing vast commercial networks that connected distant lands. They were skilled craftspeople, creating beautiful and functional objects. They were complex people with a rich culture, deep beliefs, and a profound impact on the world. Their story is a fascinating part of human history. Their legacy lives on in countless ways. It's in the language we speak, with many English words having Norse origins. It's in the cultural traditions and place names found across Europe and beyond. It's in the enduring power of their sagas and myths, which continue to inspire stories and art today. The spirit of the Vikings, their courage, ingenuity, and adventurousness resonates through the ages. Their journey from the fjords of Scandinavia to the shores of North America and the heart of Russia is a testament to human resilience and ambition. They truly shaped the course of history. So let's raise a horn to these incredible people, the Norsemen, the Vikings. Skål to the Vikings! Thanks for watching our history content. If you like the Viking voyages, please give us a like and subscribe for more interesting stories about our world history.